The galactic survey ship Meridian's Eye hung in orbit above the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star. Inside the observation deck, Commander Zixthor of the Unified Galactic Council studied the primitive world below with 6 of his compound eyes while the others monitored his crew's vital signs. Another, Death World, his second officer Kriva clicked, her mandibles expressing distaste. Why do we always get assigned to the dangerous ones? Zixthor's translator collar hummed, because we're the best, and because Council wants to know if these humans are worth contacting before they develop faster-than-light travel. On the planet's surface, in a place the natives called the Kalahari Desert, 2 human children had become separated from their research expedition. 7-year-old Anna held her younger brother Jack's hand tightly as the sun climbed higher, turning the landscape into a furnace. "I'm scared, Anna," Jack whispered, his voice cracking. The 5-year-old's face was already red from the heat. "Dad will find us," Anna said with more confidence than she felt. "We just need to stay where we are," and she stopped. Something was moving toward them through the sparse vegetation. From the Meridian's Eye, Zixthor watched the scenario unfold with growing interest. His sensors had detected the children hours ago, noting their distress signals and rising core temperatures. Now something else had entered the picture. "Sir?" Kriva's voice held a tremor of fear. "That creature approaching the juveniles? Our database identifies it as a Mellivora capensis. Threat level, catastrophic." "Catastrophic?" Zixthor zoomed in on the stocky badger-like animal. "It's barely half a meter tall. Its species has no natural predators, sir. It attacks creatures 50 times its size. Venomous snakes, large predators, even the humans' mechanical vehicles, nothing deters it. The database says humans themselves call it the world's most fearless creature." Anna saw the honey badger emerge from behind a termite mound and froze. She'd seen nature documentaries. She knew what these animals could do. "Jack," she breathed, "don't move." But the honey badger wasn't looking at them with hunger or aggression. It approached slowly, deliberately, and then did something that made Anna's breath catch. It positioned itself between the children and the desert expanse, facing outward. Aboard the ship, alarms suddenly blared. Multiple hostiles approaching the human juveniles, Kriva shrieked. Desert predators, jackals, a spotted hyena, even a black mamba. They must smell the children's fear. Zixthor leaned forward, all 12 eyes now focused on the unfolding drama. This would be the test. This would show him what humans were truly made of, how they met death on their impossible world. The jackal pack arrived first, 6 lean hunters with hungry eyes. They spread out in a semicircle, assessing the easy prey before them. The honey badger didn't wait. It charged. What happened next would be analyzed in Galactic Council chambers for years to come. The creature moved with such ferocity, such absolute fearlessness that the jackals scattered. When one was too slow, the honey badger's teeth found its leg. The jackal's yelp echoed across the desert as it limped away, the pack following. "Impossible," Zixthor muttered. 1 against 6, protecting juveniles that aren't even its own species. But the honey badger wasn't done. The hyena approached, a creature 3 times its size with bone-crushing jaws. The black mamba slithered closer from another angle, its venom capable of killing a human in minutes. Anna pulled Jack behind her, but she needn't have worried. The honey badger was a whirlwind of claws and teeth. It bit the hyena's nose, dodged the snake's strike with impossible reflexes, then grabbed the mamba behind its head and shook violently. The snake went limp. The hyena fled, yelping. "Sir," Kriva's voice was barely a whisper now. "That creature, it just killed a snake whose venom could drop a Queller battle beast. And it's been bitten. Multiple times. It should be dead. But it's not," Zixthor observed. "It's still standing guard." The honey badger swayed slightly, the venom taking effect, but it didn't leave its post. It stood between the children and danger, bloodied and poisoned, absolutely immovable. Jack started crying softly. Anna knelt beside her brother, her eyes never leaving the injured animal that had become their protector. "Thank you," she whispered to the badger. "Thank you." The honey badger's eyes were glazing over, but still it stood. That's when the human rescue team arrived, their father and 5 rangers and a rover. They stopped abruptly at the scene. 2 children alive and well, and a honey badger barely standing, surrounded by blood and a dead snake. "My God," their father breathed, scooping both children into his arms. One of the rangers approached the honey badger carefully. "It's been envenomated," the ranger said softly. "Multiple bites. but it protected them. I've never seen anything like this. They administered anti-venom to the honey badger and transported it to a wildlife facility for care. It would survive. Evolution had given it remarkable resistance to venom. Aboard the Meridian's Eye, Zixthor sat in silence for a long moment. "Sir?" Kriva prompted. "Your recommendation to council?" Zixthor's translator collar crackled as he spoke slowly, choosing his words carefully. "In my 300 cycles of service, I have surveyed 79 worlds. I have seen apex predators, hive minds, and species that can manipulate matter itself. But I have never seen what I witnessed today, sir. These humans live on a death world so hostile that its creatures have evolved beyond fear itself. Where a creature the size of a council record keeper will fight predators 10 times its mass without hesitation. Where animals will defend the young of another species against impossible odds, not for food or territory, but simply because those young needed defending." He turned all 12 eyes to his second officer. "And if their animals are this formidable, this loyal, this absolutely unwilling to surrender, imagine what the humans themselves are capable of. So your recommendation?" Zixthor pulled up the transmission template, his appendages moving with purpose. "Immediate advancement to priority contact status. Furthermore, I recommend we approach with the utmost respect and caution, not because they are dangerous, though I suspect they are, but because any species that evolved alongside such creatures, that earned the loyalty of such creatures, is a species we want as allies, not enemies." He paused, then added one final note to his report. "Humanity's emblem should not be their flag or their weapons. It should be a honey badger standing guard, because that is who they are. That is what they've learned from their world. Stand your ground. Protect the innocent. Never ever surrender, even unto death." The message was transmitted to the Galactic Council, and the course of galactic history shifted in that moment. Below, in a wildlife facility, a honey badger recovered while 2 children visited daily, bringing it treats and whispering thanks. The badger accepted their affection with what might have been contentment, unaware that it had just redefined humanity's place in the cosmos. Some aliens would later ask why humans were so beloved by their world's creatures, why even their predators would sometimes protect them. The answer was simple. On Earth, everything learned the same lesson: stand together or die alone. Even the smallest, fiercest creatures knew that protecting the helpless was the highest honor. That was the human way. And soon it would become the galactic way too.